What's up, everyone? So we are back at it today, and we're looking into a comparison that a lot of you Costco shoppers have been asking about. If you've walked down the electronics aisle lately, you've definitely seen these two, the Type S T401 and the newer Type S T402. Both are marketed as AI-powered co-pilots with 4K resolution and interior monitoring, but one is a seasoned veteran from 2024, and the other is the fresh face on the shelf. We've been running them side by side to see if the new tech actually beats the old reliability, or if you're better off sticking with the classic model. We'll put the updated price and purchase links for both down in the description for your convenience, so let's get into the video. When we look at the physical design and the initial setup, you can really see the evolution between these two models. The T401 is the veteran, and it has this very specific, slightly boxier build that many of us have grown used to seeing on our windshields. In comparison, the T402 has been streamlined. It's still a dual-view unit with that front and cabin layout, but the housing feels a bit more refined for 2026. One thing we really appreciate about both is that Type S includes a transparent adhesive film in the box. This is a massive win for us because it means you aren't baking permanent 3M glue onto your windshield. You stick the film down first, then the camera mount goes on top of that, making it way easier to remove later if you decide to upgrade. But here is where they start to differ. The T401 feels like a piece of hardware you have to manage, while the T402 is marketed as a device that learns. The real-world frustration with the T401 has always been the manual calibration. If you've ever owned one, you know the drill. You have to sit in your driveway, pause the recording, and manually align a green vertical line with the center of your hood and a red horizontal line with the actual horizon of the road. If you're off by even a few degrees, those forward collision and lane departure alerts are going to chirp at you constantly, even when you're perfectly centered in your lane. In comparison, the T402 features what Type S calls adaptive AI with automatic calibration. This is a total game changer for those of us who just want to plug it in and drive. Instead of you doing the work, the T402 uses its internal GPS and sensors to calibrate itself while you drive. Within about 15 minutes of normal driving on a clear road, the system settles in and starts providing alerts. It actually learns your driving patterns and the surroundings to become more accurate over time. The T402 clearly beats the T401 here because it takes the human error out of the equation, turning those driver assist features from an annoyance into an actual safety net. Now, let's talk about the footage, because all the AI in the world doesn't matter if the video is trash. Both of these are 4K on the front and 1080p in the cabin, and to be honest, during a bright sunny day, you'd be hard-pressed to tell them apart. Both record at 30 FPS, giving you that smooth, TV-like quality that's great for freezing a frame to catch a license plate. However, once the sun goes down, the T402 starts to pull ahead. It features an updated wide dynamic range system that is noticeably better at balancing the harsh glare of streetlights and oncoming high beams. In comparison, the T401's 4K sensor is still very capable, but it tends to blow out white details at night more often than the T402. When we're looking at the interior camera, both units use infrared sensors to see in total darkness, which is a massive win for rideshare drivers. Whether you're rocking the T401 or the T402, you're getting a clear view of every passenger, even if it's midnight on a back road. But for the road ahead, the T402's processing is just a bit more balanced and modern. When we get into the software and app integration, this is where both units share a bit of a struggle. They both use the Type S Drive app, and if we're being real with you, it's not the best experience in the world. Both cameras use 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, which is fine for changing settings, but if you're trying to download a massive 3-minute 4K clip, you're going to be waiting a while. We've noticed that both the T401 and the T402 can sometimes be finicky when connecting to newer iPhones or Androids, especially if you have wireless CarPlay or Android Auto running in the background. You usually have to disconnect from those first just to talk to the dash cam. However, the T402 does feel slightly snappier in menu navigation. Because it has that adaptive AI processing going on under the hood, it feels like the internal chipset has been given a bit of a boost compared to the older T401. Another major point we need to discuss is storage and parking protection. Both units ship with a 32GB micro SD card, and in our opinion, that is a joke for a 4K camera. You're recording 2 channels of high-def video simultaneously. A 32GB card is going to overwrite your morning commute before you even finish lunch. We highly recommend upgrading to a 128 or 256GB high-endurance card immediately for either of these. When it comes to parking, since both are supercapacitor-based, they don't hold a charge to record while the car is off. To get that park and record mode where the G sensor wakes the camera up after a hit and run, you must hardwire them to your fuse box. Type S sells a specific hardwire kit for this, and it's well worth the extra $20 if you're worried about your car being bumped in a parking lot. So, which one is actually the Costco king? If we look at them side by side, the T401 remains a very solid veteran choice. If you can find it on a clearance shelf for a deep discount, it's a rugged 4K witness that won't let you down. It uses that supercapacitor build that handles the heat, and once you get past that manual calibration, the video evidence is high quality. But in comparison, the T402 is simply the smarter purchase for most people today. It clearly beats the T401 by fixing the biggest headache of the previous generation, the manual AI setup. By automating the calibration and improving the nighttime WDR, Type S has turned the T402 into a more refined professional tool. So, in our opinion, the verdict comes down to how much you value your time. The T401 is for the tinkerer who doesn't mind spending 20 minutes in the driveway getting the lines perfect to save a few dollars. The T402 is for the driver who wants a modern set-it-and-forget-it experience. Both cameras share the same fatal flaw: they are blind to the rear of your car. But as far as 2-channel 4K systems go, they are some of the best values you can find at a big box retailer. The T402 is the clear winner for us in 2026, not just because it's new, but because the AI actually feels like it's helping you rather than just chirping at you for crossing a line you never touched. So that's the breakdown. We hope this clears up the confusion between these two models, especially regarding that supercapacitor power supply. Both are built to last, but the T402 is built to be smarter. Let us know in the comments if you've had a chance to try that auto calibration on the T402. Did it actually settle in after 15 minutes, or did you have to give it a nudge? We'd love to hear your real-world experience. If you found this comparison helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more gear reviews. Other than that, we hope you all have a simple day. Peace.